Hello and welcome back to the KCC channel. I'm Rob and I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today we're jumping into some I Don't Work Here Lady. Our first story today comes to us from Sugary Space Sprinkles. Some people just don't get it. Let's jump right in. So I had bad leg pain last month and had to use a walker and cane to get around. Turns out I had tumors, not malignant. Had surgery recently and put on a wound vac before switching to a wet to dry bandage last week as my wound is healing up faster than expected. I can now walk better. I'm using a walker when I go out, now just waiting for my next operation to get it sutured. Events of this story happened yesterday. Now, story time. As mentioned, I'm walking well again. Physical therapy helped a lot. But unfortunately, I can't walk too well either as my injury is still healing up, and I can't fully bend nor lift my legs straight up. For example, when I get into or out of bed, I need to be sitting down, then have to scoot my foot from my injured leg on top of my right foot and lift it up into a bent position, then slowly carry it up and over onto the bed. Or when walking, I have to move my leg out to the side and forward to take a step, so it looks quite awkward. It doesn't help that a few nights ago I stepped on a chicken bone my dog left in the hallway at night. Thanks, Chica. Still love you, you little fish butt you. With my right foot and got a gash on my heel. So now I'm walking with one leg out to the side and the other on my tiptoes. This is a tiny bit important. So my dad, my awkward steps and I head off to the grocery store for groceries. I had my walker and cane, but since there were grocery carts, there was no need to use them. We make our way in, and since I have the cart for support, my dad grabs a basket instead, and we decide to split up to cover more ground while we get what we need. So I'm going about my business grabbing items, checking prices, checking on my phone to see if we have enough money, occasionally putting things back. I like to walk around as it helps with my leg as well as keeps me occupied. So I'm putting things back in their respective places and aisles, just taking my sweet time. Note that I'm not wearing anything that resembles this store's uniform, which is black short sleeve button-up, black slacks, black shoes, and non-slip boots. I'm in a black t-shirt, pink shorts, and wearing socks and sandals. I'm now near the frozen and dairy section, picking up different cheeses and putting them back, then doing the same with some ice cream tubs. Chocolate swirl, chocolate chip, Neapolitan, rainbow, mint chocolate chip. Oh, how my sugar levels must hate me. At some point, this man comes up near me and stops, so I put my cart to the side, thinking he's trying to get through. I wasn't blocking the aisle, and there was plenty of space, but I like to be polite. He starts up, "Hey, excuse me, could you help me out with finding specific item? Also, I don't need these anymore, do you mind?" As he takes packs and bags of meat from his cart and places them in mine. Now, I had my own meat already picked out from the deli section, and this guy is quickly placing his own, along with other items like beans, pasta, drinks, and what have you, in my cart, and now they're mixed up with mine, and I have no way of knowing which belong to who. I quickly try to pull my cart away and put my hand out forward over my cart to stop him. Whoa, no, I don't work here, I'm sorry. He stops, but now his friendly demeanor changes. "I just saw you putting things back. A few more won't hurt." I shake my head. "No, well, yeah, but again, I don't work here. I don't even have the outfit or uniform. I'm just doing my shopping. Please take your things back." His face changes again and looks genuinely sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Really, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that." And he takes his things back. The end? Oh no, not just yet, unfortunately. I apologize for giving off the wrong impression that I worked there. I had no reason to apologize, but that's just how I am. I once turned a corner and bumped into it and apologized to the wall, no joke, and we said our goodbyes. I continue making my way down the aisles, once again taking and placing items when a woman comes up this time. She sees me and quickly puts her basket down and speed walks towards me, snapping her fingers at me with a hey you, boy. Boy, I thought to myself, oh nah. Instead of my friendly yes, I unfortunately still gave her the time of day and simply answer what in a rather rude and annoyed tone. She stopped in her tracks and scoffed. What? I'll let you know what. There's nobody at the effing registers. There's only one girl there and the line is so long and far. Go open another one. Now, I'm not one for confrontation, especially if it can be avoided, but I won't let anyone walk over me anymore as I had let done in the past. I've been going through heck lately, and I finally decided to grow a backbone. First off, I don't work here. Does it look like I do? Second, don't talk down to me like that. I'm not your child. She interrupts me. No, listen here, honey. I'll talk however the F I want. You're no one telling me anything. Who the F are you to lecture me? Get someone that isn't an effing insult for a mentally challenged person to teach you how to do your job. I shake my head in disappointment. That's effed up. Don't say that. Good luck to you. And I begin to walk off. Again, I'm awkwardly walking and she points this out as she stays behind. Well, if it walks and talks like a duck. I shut my eyes, grit my teeth, grip the cart handle, and take a deep breath, but keep moving without looking back. Dad and I meet up again and he puts his basket in my cart. We make our way to the registers and 2 more have opened up. He needs to use the restroom, so I wait behind before getting in line. He had the money and the lines were short, and I didn't want to keep other people waiting at checkout while he was gone. Who should walk by but the witch from earlier? She eventually notices me as well, and we glare at each other, and she gets out of line and up towards an actual worker standing off to the side. She tugs his arm, points to me, and both make their way toward me. Him. Me what? She tugs on the worker's arm and keeps pointing. He's the one who harassed me and insulted me. He wouldn't let me get a word in when I needed help and brushed me off. Very rude. Worker is either slow, wasn't paying attention or didn't care, or trying too hard to stay on the customer's good side. He barely raised his eyes at me and said with a shoulder shrug, "Dude, what? Come on, man. You're better than this. What, they didn't teach you that isn't how you deal with customers? Basic training 101. Woman pipes up, "You need to respect your elders, don't you know?" I snap back, tired of nobody getting the hint. I don't care who you are. Respect is effing earned. You're the last person to be talking about respect. I don't work here. Do you understand? You know what? F this. I leave the cart where it is just as my dad is making his way back and limp towards him. He asks, "What happened? Where's the cart? Why aren't you in line?" OP responded in Spanish, and if you know Spanish, you can read this right here. Although I'm not going to read it myself because I will butcher it. But it loosely translates to, "They can go screw themselves. They have no respect here. That freaking lady won't stop bothering me, and that guy doesn't give a darn about what she's saying." I tried explaining I don't work here, and they're both being idiots. My dad glares over at them, puts his arm around my shoulder, and we slowly walk out of the store. More Spanish. "Well, then they can go screw themselves." He said, "F you." Mind you, I don't curse at all in Spanish. I wasn't raised that way since my parents didn't even speak that way around me growing up. I'm even afraid to say pinche, which basically means freaking, as in no freaking way. So me cursing up a little storm like that meant I was quite pissed off. We ended up doing our shopping at another store further away, peacefully. To the first guy in the freezer section, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Sorry again for the confusion. To the lady, I hope you get a hangnail and ingrown toenail on your pinky toe. To the ignorant cashier, I hope you're the last to close up, everyone's gone home, and 3 of your tires are popped so you have no ride home. One thing I really don't understand out of all these stories that we hear is that even if it was an employee, how are people so rude when they come up to people? Like, if you come up to somebody and insult them right away, do you think you're gonna get the best service possible out of them? Because I definitely don't. And one more thing, who snaps their fingers at other people? Really? If you snapped your fingers at me, all I would do for the next 5 minutes is not even talk and just snap my fingers back at you. You want an answer to your question? How dare I? You want to talk to my manager? Do me a quick favor, have a look down below the video. If that subscribe button's still red, it means you're not actually subscribed to the KCC channel. Please hit that subscribe button for more daily Reddit stories. Our next story today comes to us from Viper Commander, Blind and Dumb Karen versus a 15-year-old. Let's jump right in. This is my first post on this subreddit. I don't know the rules or regulations here if there are any, but I'll follow what others have done here. So for context, I'm 15 male, 5'9", and rapidly growing. I am so fluent in English that some mistake me for a foreigner because I'm taller than average and very fluent in English. Others also think I'm an employee, but I explain that I don't work here and that I'm a minor just getting stuff for mom to pay. Most understand. Most. Story. So this happened a few weeks back. I can remember most of the events, but some details I forgot, so forgive me. I am picking out stuff in the supermarket in the mall, wearing basketball shoes, pants, polo t-shirt, and wearing a black jacket. I'm wearing headphones listening to music from Spotify on my phone, picking out stuff to bring to my mom. Now, the supermarket where I'm picking stuff is quite popular for foreigners, located in a small town. Most of us know each other, so picking out some stuff from the shelf, and I feel a tap on my shoulder. Thinking it's my mom, I turn around and I take my headphones out, but oh no, it's not my mom. A Karen is in front of me with the typical look. She is wearing jogging shoes, jogging pants, a sweater, and a cap facing backwards. Now the following convo goes something like this. Hey, do you know where the coffee aisle is? Yes, it's about 2 aisles to your right. No, it isn't. I looked there earlier and there was no coffee. Oh, well, okay. I'll just call one of the employees to bring down some coffee from the boxes. No, I won't wait for that long. You do it. Pardon? You bring down the coffee. Ma'am, I'm not an employee here. I'm not even 18. Don't make excuses. I know you work here. I don't pay for these products to give a paycheck to employees like you. Side note, employees are wearing black shoes, black pants, green shirt, white apron, and green cap. Ma'am, I'm not an employee here. As I said, I'm only 15, and I'd like to finish getting stuff for my mom to pay. No, you are going to help me, or I'll get your manager. At this point, I've had enough, so I put on my headphones and start walking away. Karen decides to yank my headphones off my head, damaging the left lobe to the point it's attached to the headphone via the wires. What the heck, lady? Where's your manager? I want to speak with him. I was pissed off. How many times do I have to say this? I'm not an employee here. I don't even have the nameplate nor the uniform. Get me your manager so I can get you fired. I told you many times, I don't work here. Are you blind, deaf, or both? Karen then proceeds to slap me and starts pulling me by my jacket sleeve. I did get free and I start screaming, berating her to the point she leaves. And I said to myself, finally, it's over. Or so I thought. About 30 minutes later, same lady shows up again, this time with someone I presume is the manager. There, that's him. That's the employee that assaulted me. I want him fired right this instant. Ma'am, what? He isn't an employee. He's just a regular here. Karen then proceeds to start shouting at the manager, screaming racism at me at every opportunity. And as a crowd started to form, my mom, who had been finding me, finally sees the commotion. Mom asks in confusion, "What's happening and what happened to you?" I then tell her everything that's happened. Karen finally is seeing she isn't getting anything out of the manager, walks over to me and grabs me by my shirt's collar and starts pulling me towards the manager. Here I've truly had enough. I started fighting back. I am autistic, so you can see how much this played out. After landing a gut punch, my mom pulls me away and Karen starts screaming, saying to get the police, her lawyer, and the local judge. Now some people in the crowd attempt to defend Karen's action, with the manager defending me. After 10 to 15 minutes, the police arrive and take the statement of me, the manager, Karen, my mom, the bystanders as well, and check the security footage showing I was dragged against my own will, and that she did in fact assault me first. My mom shows my ID proving I am 15 years of age, and the police then arrest her. One of the officers asks if I want to press charges, and I happily agree. She is charged with child battery, child endangerment, property damage, assault, and resisting arrest. She kicked an officer in the leg. Now you think this would be the end, but there's still more to the story. Last week we went to court, and the judge happens to be my substitute class teacher. Karen got perhaps a cheap lawyer, as everything she did, she and her lawyer denied. and after presenting the evidence, the trial was done in 3 hours. She was sentenced to pay a fine of up to 15,000 Philippines pesos, about $300 for all to understand, and a prison sentence of about 5 years. I'm sorry if this is a long one, but I thought I'd share, but do you think I should have charged more? It sounds to me like the punishment might have fit the crime, but it might have been a little much too. I mean, she did go away for 5 years, and you retaliated in the store, so she did have a little bit of shame there too. Our next story today comes to us from Jammy Sings. This is a private residence, not SuperCuts. Let's jump right in. I was reminded of this story while watching a video on YouTube where they read a story from this forum about a guy who kept having a lady call his home, insisting that he was lying and his home was Domino's. This happened many years ago when there was a SuperCuts in my hometown. Their phone number and ours were almost exactly alike, except their last digit was different from ours. Now, ours had the same 3 digits in a row at the end, I think like 333, 777, etc. While theirs was 2 of the same digits and then a 0. 330, 770, you get the idea. Which means it was very easy to accidentally dial our number instead of theirs, if you were dialing too fast. At the time, answering machines weren't as prevalent as they'd be a few years later. So when I was forced by my parents to answer the phone, instead of hello, I used to say our last name residence. That always seemed to get the people who meant to call SuperCuts to realize they dialed the wrong number. And I'd just say, oh yeah, theirs ends in a 0, just dial a little slower. They'd thank me and hang up. My mom, for some reason though, still insisted on saying hello instead of answering my way, which meant she often got people trying to make appointments for SuperCuts. Now, I'd say 99% of the time, they'd accept from her, oh, you've got the wrong number, this is our name's residence. They'd apologize and hang up. One time, a kid in the army called because he'd been on leave and needed a haircut before he went back. He was very disappointed he called the wrong number. Now, mom happens to be a retired hairstylist and offered to cut his hair for free, even told him where we lived and how to get there. I can't remember if he showed up or if he decided to just go to SuperCuts instead, but one lady did not get it. She kept calling and calling and calling. Mom was the one who answered, the first time and every time after. The first time the woman angrily hung up. Then, she hung up instantly every single time mom answered the phone and said hello. Finally, after what must have been a good 10 or 15 minutes of calling our house, she yelled at my mom, "Would you stop picking up the phone? I'm trying to call SuperCuts." We got an answering machine not long after, and a couple years later, SuperCuts shut down that location, so we stopped getting calls for them. I know, not the most dramatic story compared to some here, but I thought I'd share this old childhood memory. I hope you all have a nice, Karen-free day. I've read a number of stories on Reddit about people having a number so similar to a business in town and then getting a bunch of phone calls for those businesses. Now, in most of these cases, it's a question of, hey, this is the wrong number, here's the one you need to call. But there has to be other people like me out there because I would just have to screw with these people. I'd start answering my phone. Hi, Rob from SuperCuts, how can I help you? Oh, you'd like to schedule an appointment? No problem, let's schedule you in for noon tomorrow. Oh, did you know we changed our address? Yeah, it's now at such and such address on this other street. And I would totally send them to the local strip club. Check out all 3 OPs linked in the description down below. I thank you for watching, I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.